Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Division 4A Week 3 recap. I am your host, Synergy, and my regular co-host, G'day, Nick, is here also.
Hey. Exciting week of Blood Bowl by the looks of some of these games, which I saw a bit of.
Yeah, it was a fun week. No draws, all wins and losses, so it's always good. And how are you doing, Nick?
Yeah, doing pretty well. I had a good win in my BigO match as well, so it was a solid week of Blood Bowl for me. But keen to have a look at these teams and these lineups and stuff. A couple interesting level ups as well, which is fun.
Yeah, I caught a bit of your game, I think, and congratulations on your second win, is it, this season?
Yeah, if we don't count the bye.
If we don't count the bye.
I count the bye, so 3-0-0.
3-0-0. It's great, isn't it? Sitting up towards the top end of that table, I'm sure.
The top end of the I'll take it.
Yeah, very good. Alrighty, let's get in and see how the week panned out, hey?
Yeah, for sure.
So, first up, our Skaven team, the Blessed Ratmen, managed to get their first win of the season versus Easy Big, Easy Necro, so congratulations to them. It looks like they went up 2-1. I had a quick review of this game. I didn't get to catch it live, but had a very quick review, and it looked like the Blessed Ratmen team were able to swarm the Necros and get in some sneaky gutter runner touchdowns, and had a really good first half. The second half was a bit closer. It almost went down to a draw, I think, but they managed to hold out and get their first win.
Yeah, props to them. Playing very aggressively. I kind of flick through a lot as well, and can be really fun playing really aggressive Skaven and just charging at people with horned gutter runners and stuff.
Yeah, that horned gutter runner was an interesting pickup, and I think it worked for him. So, props to him. Let's just have a look down the list there. So, amazingly, the Necro team managed 60 blocks on the Rats, and they didn't fall apart enough for him to get the win. 13 breaks, 2 KOs, 4 casualties, and surfing time, he got 5 surfs.
Oh, that's where you want this Necro, isn't it? Just a day surfing. That's the thing. I guess our rat coach has got to look out for a bit is if he plays this really aggressive Skaven with like lots of basing, lots of really attacking the ball. Worked for him now. Got a good solid win, but you come against a team which has a good bash day. Maybe that could be some dead rats.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how the rest of the season goes out for him.
Yeah, for sure. I think
like glory, you go on, you get this fantastic, flash of, some great scoring moments where you get a dead team. So it's a fun Blood Bowl to watch at least. Hey?
I understand that Easy Big Easy Necro's coach Critical Hit is a friend of Liam, and I dare say that Liam's been showing him the ropes on how to surf, because those 5 surfs in the second half were pretty impressive. There was some chain surfs and stuff, and I quite enjoyed flicking through that game and going, whoa, what's going on? Props to him as a new coach and managing some fun on the sidelines there. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to literally claw his way back in the second half, and still only managed the 1 touchdown. But yeah, it was a good game overall, and both coaches managed to level up 2 of their players. The thrower picked up the MVP and leveled up to level 3, and he also managed another gutter runner leveled up, whereas the Necro team got a werewolf level and a flesh golem level. So it'll be interesting to check their teams out a little bit later and see what they picked up. Hopefully they've rolled their levels for us.
Yeah, I mean that's always good getting positional levels for Necro. It's really what you want.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to facing these Necro teams by the time I get to them in about 3 weeks. I think it is. I think I've got both of the Necros in a row, and I'm just no, not
Yeah,
looking
they
forward to
just
it.
kind of get like, I mean, like elves to an extent, they get kind of like a fair amount of blodge on their positionals, and it's really easy for like just picking up block on most Necro players. It just makes them really good. Like Flash Golem with block, it's just of course, how do you get past it sometimes?
Yeah. Oh, let's not talk about it. Okay. The next team, the next game, or should I say, is My Hopes and Dreams versus Comfortably Uncomfortable. So this was the, let's say, newer Dark Elves team versus the far more advanced Dark Elf team. And unfortunately, the newer team, My Hopes and Dreams, conceded. I did flick through the game, and he had a fantastic first half. He managed to get 2 good casualties against Comfortably Uncomfortable, taking out one of the Witch Elves in particular, and it looked like he with those 2 early casualties he should be able to keep himself in the game. Unfortunately, he caught some bad dice, some bad 1-dies, some skulls, some unfortunate double 1s on dodges and throws, and I imagine that got to him a bit, and we saw the concede. It was up to the admins to sort that out, and I believe they awarded an extra touchdown to Comfortably Uncomfortable after reviewing the game. Hopefully, My Hopes and Dreams can learn from this, and next games keep himself a little bit calmer on that sort of Alt F4 type attitude. And these things happen. I mean, we don't know exactly what was going on, but just try and hang in to the end, because that extra 5 SPP is really important in these early games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, at least didn't come up with nothing. You did get 2 CADs and a pass in there.
Yeah.
So 5 SPP. So even next game still got a little more the team's a little more developed to build on for the week after. Hopefully, My Hopes and Dreams sticks around.
Yeah, I'm sure. Each game is a learning experience, and like I say, he was doing really well. He just got some unfortunate rolls, and that happens to the best of us, and it can be super frustrating.
Such a hard in a mirror match where you're trying to make use of your team's strengths, and the other team's more developed than you. So it was a difficult game for My Hopes and Dreams. To be fair, you can't make use of the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf strengths when the other team's playing Dark Elves.
That's right. Anyway, let's move on from that, shall we? We didn't get a rundown from the bot, so we'll just skip on to the next one, and we'll check out their teams a little bit later when we see the next week's schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
So next in the line is Sir Robin's Secondhand Band versus Leaping Lizards. Leaping Lizards going up 2-1. I actually managed to co-cast a little bit of this game and also pop into Serious Sam's stream. It's good to see him streaming his game, and this I think surprised us. I think we apparently tipped.
Yeah, I think last week we did tip the Sir Robin Secondhand Band due to I think because they had the 2 wolves we liked the claw. But
Yep.
I mean Sam showed us that he had what it took and he got a good solid 2-1 win. Was a little bit scary at sometimes for both teams with the ball going around everywhere, but I put out a solid win.
Yeah, it was a good fight in the centre there, and Sam managed to pick up that ball and run away with it, and got that second touchdown for the win. It was a good game actually.
For sure.
Looks like he got 2 skink level ups, and on the other hand, Warhammer Frog got a level on Sir Bedivere, his wolf. So once again, wolves getting levels. Makes me
scary times for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I think he only rolled normal, so hopefully we don't see any doubles before I get to fight them. I'm up against the Living Lizards this week, so that'll be interesting to say the least.
Okay. We'll save that for predictions. I think I've got some ideas on.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that one because I'll be keeping you a little bit mum on that. No permanent injuries this game. Warhammer Frog did manage to get a couple Kazas and a couple knockouts and a surf, but nothing that no deaths, which is a bit boring. Yeah. Anyway, what have we got next? You want to run this one down?
Yeah, I did see most of this game. So we had School of Dance versus Trump's Chumps. Kind of went kind of the way we were expecting it. Morca's team, that big Wood Elf power spike of once you get strip ball on a War Dancer before a lot of teams pick up their sure hands on their carrier. It's like a huge power spike, especially against Nurgle, who has a hard enough time playing Blood Bowl anyway because they got no skills to start off with.
Yeah.
And Morka just kind of racked up the score. And I think it would have kept going, except there was a nice intercept by a Nurgle warrior.
There really was.
Intercepting the ball, and then running it in all the way to touchdown to make it 3-1 instead of maybe 4-0 or 5-0 if Morka kept rolling those dice. The excellent thing, though, was that the MVP also landed on this warrior who performed an intercept and a touchdown for 10 SPP on a Nurgle warrior, and that feels good.
It's absolutely fantastic for Yabby, and I was hating on him the entire game as I was casting it because I want those kind of SPP for my own team, but it's good to see a Nurgle team getting some development.
It's definitely a huge I mean, you come in. Yabby was kind of coming into that game from looking. It's like he'd with some really good dice, he could get a win. With some pretty good dice, he could get a draw. But I mean, it was definitely a game tilted in Morka's favour, and Morka played very well.
Morka was unstoppable. He was barely he wasn't even rolling twos, let alone ones.
Yeah, and with all that dodge with that Wood Elf start off with so much, and then with that Agi 5 capture and the Stripple Dancer, it's like not that crazy that he could pop the ball loose most times, even if Nurgle has it in the cage. It'd be interesting to see how other teams can deal with Morka's team at the moment, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, Morka's team pretty much only loses when he rolls ones, and his dodge rate this game was 95% success.
Ooh.
And he got 2 successful
successes, 3 failures.
Yep.
Wow.
That's the story there. I mean, the 2 leaps as well. They're 3 pluses.
you expect the 83%, and then you kind of okay, there's a bit of variance. You roll a few dodges in a game, you'd expect 95. That's not crazy, but then you realize he rolled 66 dodges, which you kind of expect it to trend towards that 83%. The more dice you roll, sort of thing, just statistically. That's mental. I'm very happy for Yabby that he got that intercept because I could have seen that going 5-0.
Yeah, it was definitely looking at least 4-0 at that point, and then that warrior snatching the ball out of the air was pretty impressive.
No, for sure.
And the last game was my game, so I'll let you run that one down as well if you like.
Okay. So yourself versus Nobody Loves the Monkeys. I didn't actually Didn't actually catch it, but just looking at the stats and stuff, looks like you had the ball in your hands a lot more often, and Monkey's only having 6% ball possession. I believe there was a blitz at the beginning. I
Yeah,
might
that
have
was
caught
pretty
the first
much
little
that was pretty
section.
much the story of the game. Was
Yeah,
I think I decided to, or maybe he decided to receive,
yeah,
but it didn't. I was kicking to him, and I rolled a blitz, and I set up fairly close, and managed with particularly with the plus movement. Pesty blitzed down the side and was able to. It was a deep kick, so I wasn't able
yeah. Hard
to
to
do
defend.
much. I
And the
based
Nurgle
up.
warriors and the beast of Nurgle basing you up all over the place.
That's it.
It's
Couldn't risk
it's
a
it's
catch
hard.
or a
It,
pass,
it
and yeah,
yeah. All that. Yeah. It's in those moments when you get blitzed by a bash team, that you're like, okay, I've just got to move the ball quickly, like as humans, which is already a little bit risky. But you got your skills, so you're like, okay, I might be able to pull this off. I got to just move the ball somewhere where it's a bit safer because all his big high strength guys are all over me. If I move it somewhere, I've got lots of speed. I can outrun him, get my touchdown. But then all the disturbing presence of the Nurgle just kind of goes, hey,
yeah,
just think about all those throws and all those catches. And
yeah.
yeah,
There's
I
no
mean,
passing play here for you, human.
yeah, when there's an Agi 5 elf, maybe he doesn't care that there's disturbing presence everywhere. But Agi 3 teams, it's
Yeah,
rough.
it really
Um,
is.
also, just looking, there's probably a lot more blocks thrown by yourself. I mean, kind of to be
Yeah,
expected with the strength advantage.
45 blocks to the 28 blocks.
Yeah,
He
but
really started
The
to
Kaz
Kaz.
going to the
Yeah,
humans, so getting some SVP around the place, which is
yep. He managed to
pretty
level up
nice.
his ogre.
Oh, sweet! I love leveled big guys. It makes them one level on any big guy kind of makes them, you give them a little bit of flavor because everyone's kind of got their own different ideas on how they want to use their big guy. To,
Everybody wants to roll a
to
double, right?
yeah, everyone wants to roll a double for block, of course, but some people kind of flavor their big guys. Some people like break tackle for the running around. Some people like guard just as a bit of a roadblock or stand firm. Or stand firm for a bit more, literal roadblock and guard for the more, getting in for a big brawl. I'll be interested to see the level up when we have a look at.
Yeah, he was pretty aggressive with that ogre, so using it as a blitz piece and then running up and all that sort of stuff. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up break tackle, considering his usage of that piece.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using it as a
soon.
primary blitzer, it's
And he obviously needed that strength versus my warriors and stuff.
oh, for sure.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of some. I mean, it's a bit risky always relying on the big guy, but when your blitzers don't have mighty blow, and you have that strength disadvantage, I mean, it's probably a very smart move, blitzing with the big boy.
yeah, he only boneheaded twice out of 12 attempts, so he's pretty well behaved.
I mean, that's kind of what you expect on a 16 turn game. If you activate him every turn,
Yep.
it's like 2.7 or something times. So if you might expect 3 in a whole game if you activate him every single turn. If you're a bit obviously didn't activate him every single turn, which is pretty smart. So tended towards the 2 boneheads rather than the 3.
I think I might have knocked him out towards the end.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was
memory.
But anyhow, I mean that's kind of that's what you expect. You probably expect 2 to 3 boneheads a turn, depending on how much you're using a big guy. I mean, there's always that game where you roll.
Every single turn.
Yeah, that was my first game of the season. I rolled 6 really stupids, and my troll didn't perform any blocks because he rolled very stupid every time. So there's always those games, but 10 towards you expect it to. So I like the blitzing with the big guy on that human team. I think that's.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. I had a roll of regen on one of my guys, so that came off, which was good.
Regen saving in position. What is this? Is this Blood Bowl too?
Yeah, that was in the first half too, from memory. So he came back.
I'm pretty
pretty lucky.
Yeah, well. Oh, that's good for yourself that Region's actually doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have a quick look at the leaderboard before we look at the week ahead. Pethor on top with the 2 wins and a draw and a solid TV for a Dark Elf team. Myself also on 2-1, and the Lizard Series Sam along with us. So bit of a top of the table clash coming up.
Yeah, I mean, all you guys have shown some solid games out the gate. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and it's good to see that
yeah.
There isn't that Dwarfbane picked up that win, pulls him off the bottom, and there's just a few there with the draws and losses at the bottom.
Yeah, everyone's still well in the race, and no one's been clean swept the whole time, which can be a bit like everyone's at least picked up a draw, which is pretty good. And no one's 3-0. That's kind of even the bigger deal, isn't it?
It really is. It's
no one's 0-3, and no one's 3-0.
Yeah,
everyone's really still in this game, in for that playoff spot.
It's going to be very difficult to get that one spot, isn't it? It's
it's rough. Like one spot, like it's really tight.
I do think that unless Comfortably Uncomfortable suffers some serious injuries, they're looking pretty good at the moment, though.
Oh, for sure. But just looking at the schedule, like there's going to be some big games for them coming up because they haven't faced really many of the other people who are also kind of in that right up the top at the moment. Not that that means a huge amount at the moment, but he hasn't faced yourself, Sam, Morka, or Grim Matter. So like those games will kind of like if Pethor wins those, that's the sort of games where you start to go, oh, okay, it looks like it'd be hard to pick them off.
Yeah, it's going to be fun over the next few weeks. I've got some pretty tough games ahead of me, I think. I don't like the middle of my season at all, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if I catch some losses and head down the ladder, to be honest.
I could be expected, but there's some games in the next couple of weeks which I'm really looking forward to. But I'll save those for. We'll have a look at the next week's schedule.
Yep. So the first game is Easy Big Easy Necro versus Trump's Chumps. So that's Necro versus Nurgle.
Do we want to have a peek at the?
Yeah, we'll have a quick peek at both teams. So first team is Easy Big Easy Necro. If you want to have a look in there.
Yeah. Well, we've got the 1380 Necro team. 2 Block Wolves and a Blodge Ghoul. Fun times. Oh, that's a bit tasty. We went Mighty Blow first on the Flesh Golem, looking for a bit more attrition, couple, more getting that next level quicker. It's a reasonable choice enough, I guess. Oh, and there's a Fresh Ghoul down the bottom as well. Rocking a really big team, 15 men.
Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot. On a very developed Necro team, I'd probably be running 14 or 15, to be honest, so that you can just fail a lot with the zombies. So that's what I'm hoping to see out of Critical Hit. Lots of fouls on with that big bench that he's going to be running, all those zombies. And those, Block Werewolves make them all that slightly bit more reliable against the Nurgle team coming up.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for him, especially picking up that Werewolf level and Flesh Golem level in the last match. He's certainly got the speed. That will be quite tough to handle as Yabby.
For sure.
Claw is actually going to do a thing as well versus Nurgle.
But, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's coming along, and I'd be quite happy with where I was at if I was Critical Hit.
Oh, for sure.
And like you say, that zombie bench. What's that? A 3-man zombie bench. Unless he's going to cycle a ghoul or something like that. But yeah, he will be putting the boot in, I dare say.
Yeah, which I mean, they're both regen teams, and both teams do tend to be fouling teams, Nurgle and Necromantic. But I still would see any position that goes on the floor from both teams. I'd be expecting boots in both ways.
All right, let's have a look at Trump's chumps, shall we? I'll be interested to see what he's done, and I notice what he has done. Okay, so team value 1330, so he's getting up there. Still just the quick maths. What's that? 11 or 12?
12, I believe.
Yeah, 12. So he's got the one little bonus player, which will be, unless he's poor Katie Walsh down the bottom there. So his new
bit of a sad rudder down the bottom.
his new levels were on Ryan Zinke and James Mattis. So I can tell you one thing: he rolled an 11 on Ryan Zinke.
Oh, okay. It's sensible enough passing on to Agi, because the jump from 2 to 3 isn't as big as isn't that big, really. It doesn't make him a reliable dodger or an awesome ball handler.
Yeah. I think he was mulling it over for a few days. I noticed the other day that he hadn't locked it in.
It's some people make an argument for plus movement, but I could only ever see taking strength on a Nurgle warrior, and probably ignoring doubles for a while as well, because there's so many good with access to strength and general mutation. It's hard to not take some of those skills.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he only got the one level on his pesties. I believe Steve got knocked out for most of the second half.
I wasn't able to level the second one.
And I think it was the first game for Steven. Unfortunately, only getting the one SPP on him. So he's coming along. That mighty blow I'm jealous of. The guard I am jealous of.
Yeah. The Nurgle warrior is looking very strong. Mighty blow for a bit of greed, so you can get those, hopefully get those cas rolling, block for reliability and just solidness, and guard to kind of push that general strength advantage that Nurgle has. All good skills.
Yeah, and that dirty player and that additional block rodder at the bottom. I'd noticed how well that block rodder helped him out as well in his game. So
it's people sometimes get a bit min-maxy in their mindset, like, I want my levels and my positionals, and I'll have very cheap unleveled linemen, whatever they are. But having just block on people, just like, you feel comfortable rolling blocks, you feel comfortable basing a bit more if you need to.
Yeah, I really like it early. I mean, he's going to die sooner or later. But
Sure,
early on, it's really super useful. Even just for you're lining up your hits against them on your offensive drive. So he's looking good. He's just lacking a little bit in the pesties, but I'm jealous of his warriors, and I really wish I had them for my game this week. But
yeah. Any favourites to winning this match?
It's a tough one. I wouldn't be surprised if Critical Hit takes it, to be honest.
I was slightly leaning the same way as well. I've played a lot more Nurgle than Necro, and I normally really like not really like, but I feel comfortable as the Nurgle player. But the way you sometimes win is kind of getting some key, getting a bit of attrition going, which is a bit tough to do against a 15-man squad.
Yeah,
And then two block wolves. I'd probably have to slightly give it to critical hit as well.
yeah, I think it's a bit of a tough one.
Mm.
And I think the extra bench on the Necros allowing them to foul so much and just throw their zombies around might just be a little bit too much for Yabi. Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to playing that that Necro team.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like you can kind of control if you do your best job to control the wolves, get them down, foul them out early. That's how Yabi wins really. It's kind of getting rid of Necro's positionals is the way you beat Necro, because zombies don't tend to win Blood Bowl. They just tend to not die.
No, but the interesting thing is that he can use the ghouls as ball carriers, he can use the whites as ball carriers, and then there's still the wolves as ball carriers. So
and having a blodge ghoul,
yeah,
you put the ball on that. How's the tough to get out? No wrestle, no tackle.
Yep. Yeah. It'll be close, but I think critical hit might just get his first win there. So are we going to tip them? Are we?
Yeah, tip for sure.
Cool. Okay. Next game and next two teams is myself, the Nuketown Craters, versus the Leaping Lizards. So let's have a gander at my team and how it's going. I only got the one bit of development last match, which was on Scabby Road.
Okay, just loading the team now, sorry. On Scabby Road? Oh, you went for shorthand with the edgy?
Yep.
Pestigore?
Yeah.
Cool. Guess that can also work really well as a excellent... you don't feel too scared running an edgy 4 Pestigore in with shorthand to retrieve a ball in a tackle zone, do you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was hoping, it'll save me a reroll on a rolling a 1, going to pick up the ball in the beginning, and then, in a 1 or even 2 tackle zones, I might just be able to sneak in there with it.
I mean, that's the reason you get short hands on Edgy 4, is so you can just pull off that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Thinking about it at the moment, though, I'm thinking I wish I had a block blitzing piece.
Probably would be helping more in this game a bit.
To hit those skinks.
Yeah, blocks in high regard in this matchup.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Obviously, I've only got the 2 block down there on the Warriors. Everybody else is sitting around wanting one more casualty to get a level.
Yeah.
Yellow Grub still needs 10 SPP, and he will probably pick up block unless he rolls something silly. Other than that, there's not too much to mention, is there?
Just some sad-looking runners there at the top.
Yes, they will be fed to some Saurus to be hit. For sure, they won't be doing much.
That's what happened. Like I said, runners just pick up stat buffs, and because they're so average anyway, they always end up being kept. So there's always this nice splattering of red on every nerd coach's team sheet.
Yeah, that's right. I do have the one spare, so we'll see how that comes into the equation. I've got 150k in the bank, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
But I'm not sure I want to spend it.
Yeah, like if you lose a warrior somewhere, you kind of want that back in straight away, and that's expensive.
Yeah, and
same with the pesty. Yeah.
And if I was to buy another pesty, for example, if we flick over to Serious Sam's team, he's sitting on 1280.
Ooh. Oh, and that's with 10k bank there as well.
Yeah, it's true.
So he's on 1270 really.
Yep.
And he's just on that edge of leveling up a couple Saurus, just like you're on that edge of leveling up a couple one.
Yeah, he lost a block Saurus in game 2, I think it was. So
yeah, I think replaced by number 6 there.
Yep.
I'm not going to try to pronounce any of the Lizardmen default names. My goodness.
No, it's a bit silly, aren't they?
But
except Gronk and the Crate, the Gronk and the top.
Oh, actually, maybe some of them. I think Sam's in chat. Did you name some of these? I must have named some of them. Oh, we'll see anyway. But got sidestep all the skinks.
Yep.
Like, a dodge sidestep is nearly as good as dodge step.
Oh, it's
Against
frustrating.
A team with oh, you know the Crocs. Okay, cool. I thought the other one's a default. It's nearly as good as bludge step against a team with 2 block.
Yeah, that's right. And it's with that movement 8. How am I going to catch them with a block piece? You know, I'm just going to have to hunt for powers, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I think I'll just give my thoughts on the matchup. I think it can be a really close matchup because both teams normally like to use their strength to bully the other teams around, and they've both got 1 strength 5 players and then a bunch of strength 4 players. Lizardmen do have 2 more strength 4 players, but then they have the weaker skinks for the fight game. So if Saurus used nicely and foul appearance doesn't go off too much, Lizards can kind of win the bash a little bit.
Oh yeah, foul appearance. That didn't work once last game.
No, it never works until it's on the up. No, go on. I'm pretty sure that's how it's programmed in the game.
So when Yabby and I come up against each other,
yeah, foul appearance. Like, that's when it'll trigger. Like, Nurgle mirrors. Hey, I did one in Clan and recently, and it's just a
bit boring.
It's a bit boring. I asked for it as well and lost, so sad times. But enough about that. I think I'm going to give this to Sam and his Lizards. Just because the maneuverability.
Did you cut out there? Yeah, you still there.
Cut it. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here. So yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you there. The maneuverability is going to be quite tough for me.
Yeah, for sure. And claws when this matchup starts to turn around, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then it's like a big flip towards the Nurgle, like guy just turns the matchup on its head, like mentally. So it's, Sam would be happy that he's facing you now unless you got some major development by the end of the season. Had a mighty blow.
Yeah, some mighty blow, some tackle would be nice. And yet, on paper, rookie Nurgle versus rookie Lizards, you'd probably tip Lizards. So, I mean, obviously, I'm tipping myself, but I think as a recapper, the tip can go to Sam because I agree. He's certainly going to be tough to beat.
Hey, I'm back.
You are.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So we're giving that one to Sam then, hey?
Yep. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep. Sorry, I had some little tech problems there for a sec. All good now.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're learning our lesson from last week and tipping Sam.
Yep, tipping Sam. Why did we ever not tip against low TV Lizards? Why do we do that? It's a poor decision. Sam showed us.
I think we just thought Warhammer Frog, was going to be able to beat him up with his wolves, but nope. Anyway, next match is Grim Matters. Nobody Loves the Monkeys versus Pethors. Comfortably Uncomfortable. So humans versus Dark Elves. Let's see what Grim Matter got on his ogre, hey?
Oh, I'm excited. And he's went with break tackle. The all blitzing ogre.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. That was his one level that game. Unfortunately, he's 10k short of picking up his 4th blitzer again.
Yeah, I mean, sad times. He'll want that soon. Still got those star catches though, and a little bit of guard and block on the throw. So team's going along solidly still.
Yeah,
And
those
I
catches are
guess
really
you
good,
always
aren't
have to watch out for break tackle because you can't just cage traditionally. Can you? You never. You can't just say, "Oh well, he can't dodge into that," because I've got 2 tackle zones on it.
Yeah, certainly. If he doesn't have to use break tackle to get away from somebody, and he's got it in the bag to jump in, you never know. It's certainly coming along for a TV 1150 team. Yeah, besides the break tackle, obviously nothing more to go on. I assume he's saving his money for his 4th blitzer, so he'll be very annoyed that he didn't get an extra 10k that last game. His opponent, though, top of the league, top of the division, I should say.
Probably the team that everyone's hoping to avoid till they had a little more development on them.
1390 will give him what's that? A fair whack, right? 1500, 240.
1390 versus
240.
240. Wow.
So 240.
Lots of choices. It'll be interesting to see what the inducements go through.
I wouldn't be surprised if he chips in 10k of his own money.
Yeah, to get to that, Brad Wizard or something fun like that. Who knows?
Even just Wizard and a couple of babes, because these elves are a little bit bashy and all that blodge.
For sure. Yeah, lots of dodge, lots of block, and then stat hubs on top of that.
Yeah, Ag5.
The Ag5. Although Ag5 isn't. I mean, it's terrifying, of course, but it's not as scary until it's until dodge is on it as well. You know what I mean? Because then you can just do whatever you want if you've got dodge on it. Because I might not even have to expend a reroll to run through that screen there. If you just kind of do that, Whereas
true.
If you're doing that without dodge, you're like, I'm probably going to have to expend a reroll on this crazy maneuver I'm going to pull off.
Yep.
Oh yeah, leap as well. Yes, of course you want leap as well. Thomas is saying in chat. Yeah, dodge and leap, and then you leap in and then dodge out. You have the ball.
I think I've got Pethor next week, maybe. No, I've got Yabi next week. No, I'm not looking forward to play this team either. It's strong. It's very strong for only 7 games.
Oh, yeah, very strong. It'd be the things that Grim Matter has going for him is he's got the strength advantage and a little guard. Maybe his ogre can get some powers and break some elves. That's probably what he's looking for. And then with the inducement money, where he spends it. It'd be interesting to see what he does with the money and what his strategy coming into the game is, because he is definitely the underdog this much TV down.
Yeah, so he's only got 10 players, so he's going to get an extra 50.
Okay.
So that takes him up to the 1200 versus 1390. So it gives him the 190. So
you probably still see that being Wizard, don't you? Though?
Probably.
Wizard
Babe, I think, is probably the way to go.
I mean, some people like Bribes, so I'm not going to stop. Not going to say that's poor either.
Yeah, it's just a bit tough when you've only got 11 players and no sort of.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Although
I would pick Wizard. I'm for Wizard.
Yeah, although fouling out at a witch elf or fouling out one of these other blodge pieces would.
It'd be pretty easy to get that edgy 5 guy on the ground because he hasn't got dodge yet, and then you foul edgy 5 guys on the ground, don't you?
Oh yeah, every day. You foul the witches, you foul the edgy 5, you foul any of those blodge pieces.
Probably not even a poor move to foul the skilled lineman there. Just at the team's development and stuff. If you had a bench, you'd probably foul it.
Yeah, Pethor's still only got 2 rerolls, which is interesting. He's got 120k in the bank, so maybe he's thinking his TV's high enough as it is and doesn't want to, give out anymore.
Too much inducements. And if you got that much dodge with not much tackle in the league, maybe you probably own. And it's probably reasonably sensible not to be giving away a wizard and then an awesome player to every team they come across.
Yeah, so who's going to win that one?
Pethor's just been on a bit of a roll, and his team's looking strong, so I'd have to give it to him. Grim Matter's team's by no means bad, and he's been playing reasonably well, but have to give it to these elves.
Yeah, I agree completely. I totally hope that Grim Matter's ogre just fires up and does some damage, brings that TV down a bit, brings his teams.
Probably the rest of the div who hasn't played him is
exactly.
Ogre has the biggest day of his life, and sometimes through not much fault of your own, it's hard to protect against a break tackle big guy.
Yeah, and the humans have got the movement to counter any sort of elf business as well. So
it's always fun as human, you have this moment as your mind as a human country, you're like, oh, I'm actually faster than these elves. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
They really are in those 2 level 3 catches. Should be able to do alright. And he's got sidestep on that catcher. He's probably not going to be hitting with it anyway, but it wouldn't have been nice if he had tackle instead.
It's the catch-22. You want tackle. You want tackle early on, but do you pass it over other skills early on?
Yeah, same with that wrestle dauntless instead of wrestle tackle too. Yeah. It should be a good game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. A close one, but I'm slightly tipping it.
Yeah. And the 4th match of the week is Morka's School of Dance versus our Ratman team, the Blessed Ratman. So, can the Rats beat Morka going for their 2nd win?
Both teams coming off their first win of the season.
Let's see what Morka's team's up to, shall we?
Sure.
Missing a few pieces still.
That's what elf life is, isn't it? I mean, he's just looking scary already, though, against Wood Elves at the...
Another Agi 5.
Yeah, Agi 5. Big Agi 5 dodge. I mean, I probably, as Tomo was saying, a lot of elf coaches like the Agi 5 league, but it's surprising how much you can do with just dodge by itself anyway. And strip ball with not much sure hands, and I don't think the rat coach. Actually no, he's got 2 throwers, so he does have the sure hands. But not. If he happens to pick it up with his gutters, there's probably a war dancer in range with either tackle or strip ball coming at him. So it'd be tough for the rat coach, I think.
Yeah, I think Morka's specifically gone for tackle there to counter some of the teams in the div, the Rats and the Dark Elves as an example.
For sure.
And obviously he's gone for strip early as well.
So powerful.
Yep.
Out of the box, you can put that. You can do that little utility tackle on them, and they're still awesome, aren't they? Even if it's not every matchup in 100, at the fresh level that you're getting use out of it. Although it's always awesome when you get to mid-high TV, because there'll be dodge everywhere pretty much. But
And looks like he's picked up his second team reroll as well.
yeah,
So
was kind of Morka's life on an edge, wasn't it?
yeah, he spent his inducement money versus Yowie on 2 team rerolls, I think, and he certainly used them. And he's gone for team rerolls over, extra linemen, so he's obviously needing those rerolls.
I mean, you definitely want to at some point, because it can when when you get up to that 2 reroll, 1 reroll can having only 1 team reroll can lose your game sometimes, because you're like, I just need to reroll this one here and that one, and then there's another moment. Oh, if I could just reroll that moment there as well, then that can just be a tipping point for whatever's coming. Like you get 2 good rolls, where you maybe wouldn't have, and that leads to a chain of events where it's a turnover the other team will score.
Do you think Morka will get a tree before filling in the linemen? Chat seems to be saying he needs a tree.
Yeah, I mean, trees are definitely. Trees are great, especially at early TV. Like you put that in your team, and then suddenly these Nurgle and Lizard teams start not being able to just dominate a line of scrimmage so hard. They have to kind of think, what do I put where? There's this big tree in the middle. I mean, some coaches like playing what else without tree, but
I'm pretty sure White Line.
Yeah.
Pretty sure White Line had a tree, so I'm pretty sure he's looking forward to it. And yeah, he also probably wants to grab a thrower as well and get leader for an extra reroll as well that way.
Yeah,
so
I like all those thoughts.
Yeah, still a lot more development for this team to come, and he's already proving that he can do things with this team and not roll 1s and 2s and win games very well.
See, 12:30 with the loners in there. So.
Yeah, the extra 140 coming up, so there's going to be hardly any inducements for the Blessed Ratman, which is sitting on 1250. Let's see how they're coming along now. Oh, he's gone for horns on his other gutter runner as well.
2 horn gutter runners. That can be especially scary, but maybe not so much against teams with so much dodge and blodge on them. Like, obviously, at some level of TV of development, there'll be awesome ball sectors with like wrestle strip or wrestle tackle as well with horns. To be getting 1 dice blocks like everywhere on ball carriers and stuff. But
yeah,
at the moment it's a little bit.
It's interesting to go for 2 though, isn't it? I mean, obviously he's rolled the doubles and gone, I've got to get mutations.
Guard and 2 heads are both reasonable enough. But if you're wanting to build a lot of 2 sackers, which is understandable, I guess, because 1 will probably die doing a 2+ dodge somewhere.
Yeah.
Gutter-runners tend to do.
But watching his games, he's been quite aggressive. So obviously he's going for an aggressive style of gutter runners. So I guess he's just going to go for it. And look, I enjoy seeing different skill options, because it makes it more fun to watch and see what happens, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The extra movement on the thrower is also going to be annoying to deal with, isn't it? Movement 8. But...
Yeah, it's going to accelerate his speed advantage a bit against the slower teams. Once again, these scallops, can do okay against a bunch of teams, but probably are not as useful against the Wood Elves, who can keep up with them in speed and
don't really care about like being one dice blocked as much, especially if you have the ball on a War Dancer or his Blodge Catcher or something.
Yep.
It's not quite as scary. Yeah, I mean, I love taking guard and 2 heads on gutters myself. Maybe horns on a sacker after I've developed a bit, because Wrestle Strip kind of does everything it needs to do anyway. Horns are just kind of a nice bonus.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at least he's got strip. He's got sure hands to cancel that strip of Morkers. Is certainly a point in his favour this match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
mean,
think
horns
I
are
agree.
Horns are definitely good. It's just right at this amount of, and they'll be better in the future once he's picked up wrestle on them.
Yeah. I think he would have found guard a lot more useful for this matchup, and potentially, some of the other matchups he has to face in this league, in this division, I should say.
Sure.
But yeah, it's good to see different options. He's got that early kick as well, which is probably going to help him as well. Means Morker will have to spread out in the backfield and stuff. How do you think he's going to be able to take on Morker though?
I think Morker's team is looking a little more scary at the moment. With the 2 dancers, with the strip dancer, which means, hey, if you're just gonna do some sort of normal offense where you're not gonna score like really, really quickly, the ball needs to be on your throwers. Otherwise, it's on the floor, and then it's rats versus Wood Elves trying to scrap each other for the ball. Which at this TV, with no like 2 heads, big hands, or anything on the rats, I think I tend to favour the Wood Elves.
Yeah, I can't go past Morker either. Yeah, that tackle, the Blodge War Dancers.
He's just got the rat tools to bully gutter runners, which is the rat's advantage.
Yeah. Well, probably. I mean, it could be a very high-scoring, fun game, to be honest. With Morker generally going for as much sort of touchdowns and stuff as he can get.
And I think we've seen the same with Dwarfbane.
Yeah.
The rat coach, he likes to score quickly as well.
Yeah, he certainly managed a couple of quick scores in his last game, more so in the first half than the second. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to like something like 4-2 in Walker's favour.
Calling the score as well.
Yeah,
I'd probably also slightly tip Walker as well. Not brave enough to call the score out.
I did notice Dwarfbane he threw quite a few 1-dies, so he got away with them. I think if he sort of pairs that back a bit and looks for more strategic hits instead of like relying on 1-die hits, he'll have a better chance if he stops rolling those 1-dies, to be honest, because a coach like Morker is any sort of accidental sort of mistake, he's gonna pounce on it. Yeah, he's certainly not going to let you get away with it. But yeah, good luck to both those teams. It should be a fun one as well. Last one for today is Warhammer Frogs Necros versus My Hopes and Dreams. So I'll jump over to Warhammer Frogs team.
Oh, it's looking solid. Did he pick up that second Block Wolf last game?
Yeah, he leveled Better Beer last game, so...
Oh, that's really cool. That's pretty solid, Claw's not a nothing skill against Dark Elves, which sometimes it can feel like it's a nothing skill if you come up against a bunch of Wood Elves or something. So will help him in that. I notice he's going for the no ghouls at the moment. I'd love to hear from him if he's going for a no ghouls build in general, because I do know some coaches who don't like the ghouls on Necro.
Yeah, in
I like them
chat,
myself,
in
but
BigO chat earlier today, he seemed to be very much in favour of regen. So it wouldn't be surprised if he's made that conscious decision to stuff the ghouls.
just turns it a bit more into a brawly team and a bit less of that, a bit less of that speed to keep
Yeah.
up with the wolves. Hopefully they don't go getting themselves in too much trouble by themselves and not the fastest team to chase after them.
Yeah, so not too much to talk about here. Obviously, just getting the two levels on the wolves. There's flesh golems close with that MVP, but it's fairly vanilla team so far. But the extra block's nice. Sitting at 1140, and DSM 2K1 giving up that MVP, still at 1010, unfortunately. Looks like
Nothing's close to it.
He looks like he copped an MNG on his runner, so it's a bit of a shame for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he had that Lyman leveled up last week.
Yeah, I believe he had that edgy Lyman last week as well.
His Niggled Blitzer is back for this game. That might be a bit of a target.
Definitely. If whereas Warhammer 4 are rather targeting the easier to get down linemen if they're around, and if you had a choice of the blitzers to blitz, you definitely go for that Niggled.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I'm leaning towards Warhammer Frog for this game. Hopefully, DSM 2K1 doesn't have as much bad luck as he did in his game this week, and manages to pull off the passes and stuff that he was trying. But I think he's a little bit still, there's nothing too much to talk about other than that Agi 5, right? And
and both, it's 2 block werewolves versus 1 Agi 5 lineman. It's not a huge amount of development for either team, and I could see both coaches kind of looking forward to this match, where they're not massive underdogs by any means.
yeah,
If they get matched, I think if you're matched up against, say, against Yabby's Nurgle, or you matched up against Morka or Pethor, Zelbs, with either of these teams, it might feel like, hey, I'm a bit behind here, need to catch up. Whereas these two reasonably fresh with a little bit of flavour on them. I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I think you're right in saying that they'll both be looking forward to the game. Not too scary to face one another, so to speak. I think I'll be leaning towards Warhammer Frog, though. What about you?
Probably also have to tip Warhammer Frog as well. I think I like the 2 block wolf level ups over the Agi 5 Lino, and I think Necro just have a bit of a better time against Dark Elves before they start getting blodge on everyone. I think there's that little wave. Once the Dark Elves start picking up blodge on everyone, then I think the matchup kind of tilts towards them for that mid TV, and then if at high TV, I think a healthy Dark Elf team probably is slightly favoured against a healthy Necro team as well. But I think at this early level, if you get a couple good Kaz with the Wolves or KOs or something, I think you're in for a good time.
Yeah, I think the Dark Elf coach will have to try and exploit those movement 4 pieces, base up everybody else and sort of run through, because obviously they've only got Agi 3, so any sort of 1 and 9 to dodge out. But unfortunately, missing that runner is probably going to hurt him a fair
That is
bit,
a
to
good
be
point.
honest.
No goals. Yeah, no goals. Dark Elves will really have the maneuverability. So, I mean, if they can exploit that,
Yeah,
I mean, all for them, eh?
that certainly should be his plan. Be able to run down the side there, base up in the middle. AV8 doesn't is better than AV7 for most elves, so you tend to see Dark Elves being a little bit more bashy, using that sort of the block pieces and such. And I dare say that Agi 5 piece will just try and run away and hope that he can get away from the Wolves. Maybe some pass play down the side. It's more than likely what we'll see. He should he should watch
Just
some
to be
Jape
careful, because
games.
we saw those surfs last week with Vanessa. Gotta be careful.
Yes, he hopefully he doesn't leave his piece too in from the sideline, because Frenzy will wreck him. But yeah, so that's pretty much the week ahead. That's our tips. Just a recap: we've gone for Necros to beat Yabby. We've gone for the Lizards to beat myself. We've gone for Comfortably Uncomfortable to continue his run versus the Humans. And we went for Morka over the Rats. And Weimar Frogs, Necros as well to beat the Dark Elves. So big week for the Necros by the look of it. I think they'll be coming up the leaderboard, and I am worried about that, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to that one bit.
I think the games this week, which I'd be probably most keen to watch, are probably the Necro ones. I think they're probably going to be the closer games, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn out.
Yeah, so sing out when you're about to play, guys, at the streamers, whatever it is. Whatever, I can't remember now.
Sports Reporter, that's what
At
it is.
Sports Reporter, that's it. And if we're around, we'll try and cover your games. We'll endeavour to try and cover more 4A and 4B teams this week. Hopefully I'm around. I myself am playing Serious Sam's Lizards on Friday night.
I'll be flicking between your streams, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll have some competing streams up. Maybe we need to set up a multi-Twitch or something. Just not watch each other's streams, and everybody else can tune in and enjoy.
Sure.
Remember, guys, to post your matches on Reddit, and congrats to everybody for getting their games finished last week without any trouble. Was pretty much spread throughout the week or weekend, so good job, guys. Any closing thoughts for you, Nick?
Just really, I think these next 3 weeks will kind of shape how the season's looking. So I'm really keen to see where it goes, because it's really tight at the moment with the ladder, and I think these next couple of weeks will start to separate. Who's our favourites for claiming that final spot.
Yeah, we've got some mirrors coming up with Necros in a couple of weeks. We've got some elf on elf action. Yeah, it's a good div, and it should be interesting to see how it turns out and who manages to get that single ticket into the finals. Morka takes on Pethor, I think, in 2 weeks' time. So
I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Nick. We'll probably be here again next week around the same time. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. My name is Synergy, and yeah, hit that follow button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week, and hopefully see you on any games that I cast throughout the weekend and leading up to next week. I guess I'll catch you all next time, and thank you, Nick.
Yes. All right. See you, everyone.
See you guys.